back to my channel. I'm Camilla. I'm living in Sweden, and if you haven't visited my channel before, I design crochet patterns. So I really love to crochet, and I've been doing this for a few years, on and off, because I haven't had much time. I have two small kids. So welcome back. If you have been to my channel before, I tend to post like sporadic podcasts now and then. I wish to make it like a more regular thing, but it all depends on how life is going. Anyway, thank you for being here, and we're going to talk a little bit today about what I have been doing lately, the stuff I have designed, what I have in testing right now, future plans for testing, and future plans for designs, and half finished designs. I have a lot of those. I'm gonna just try to remember what I have been doing and what I said in the last podcast. I did record a podcast a while ago about what I did during the summer, so I hope I won't be repeating myself. I might be, and if you haven't watched that podcast, I guess it's okay. But I think I have a sort of clue what I did say in that podcast. I was speaking, I think, mostly about the one design that was like in this series that I haven't progressed that much with. It's like this, I was describing this trapezoid shape and how I was going down a rabbit hole of investigating how like the principles of this kind of design, and I'm still in that investigation. I actually I started making also a cardigan for the youngest son, and I had to redo that because it became like the proportions became wrong, and I also realized that there was let's see, I thought I had one thing. Did I drop? I'm just gonna go get it. So yeah, apparently I left this on the couch. I found like a better way, I think, of doing this shape. Maybe you cannot see so well, but it's a little bit more tidy, I think. Yeah, so anyway, I'm still experimenting with this design, but I think it's gonna be really good at some point. You know, the top that I made that I showed in the last podcast is really nice. The fit is nice, apart from it being a little bit small on me. So I'm gonna continue doing that. Maybe in the spring it will become something. But I'm not gonna speak much more about that. I'm gonna speak about what I crocheted since last time, and I did make this hat for my husband. Just a simple, but you know, I'm probably not gonna make this a design. Just improvise something. It's like a double folded rib, which I like to make on my crochet hats. Sometimes, ideally, I want to use slip stitch ribbing, but this is a very thin yarn and it will take forever. So I made like a single crochet ribbing and folded it and worked bottom up. It's made in Rauma finull, a Norwegian yarn, which is really good for knitting, and I've knit a sweater for my husband in this yarn, and it's a really nice sweater. The design is by Rauma. So I had some leftovers, and I made it like in the pattern of my design, the Rauk vest, and I made it two-colored. Here, if you want to check this pattern out more, I have a design called the Rauk vest on Ravelry and Etsy, and it's been one of my most popular patterns for the past year, I think. And it's good, it works both in like spring and fall or even summer, made in cotton or like something more cool. And then you can also make it in wool. The second layer for winter, and it's made in an iron weight. I used like drops Paris and drops Nepal. So it's quite quick to work up. And my plan is to also make a video for this pattern, as I've made for most of my patterns, which is gonna make it easier to follow. I know that some people had problems like to join the joining round, and I'm really working on making it better. It's just taking so much time, you know. New designs, testing, and then upgrading old designs, and just posting and making videos. It's just, you know, I feel like I'm going at the pace of a turtle. Especially since I have the two small kids, I'm on parental leave, and the older kid has like 20 hours of kindergarten every week now that I'm on parental leave. So it's basically like going to school, having a few hours, and then going back to school, collecting, and, you know, being a good parent at the same time as I'm trying to keep doing what I like to do. So that's why things are going a little bit slow. But anyway, I took the time to make this hat. I've made my husband a few hats before, but he has lost them. And I told him, like, I'm not gonna make you a new hat. But anyway, I'm made one now for his birthday, sort of, which is in a couple of weeks. So let's try. Now it's not gonna be that great on me, I think, because my hairstyle, my hair is just completely flattened. But yeah, we have basically the same head size, me and my husband. I have a big head, very big head. So yeah, it's not a bad hat, but it's, you know, it's not something so perfect that I'm gonna write a pattern for it. Unless you really want to, I could do that. I do have another hat pattern or beanie pattern on, free pattern on, with a video also on YouTube, and it's called the Color Puff hat. So if you're looking for a beanie pattern for the winter, you can check that out. It's also free. And then this was something I had done before, but I also finished this cowl now. Or basically like sewed in the ends. And this was also something I was like, okay, maybe it's not gonna be a pattern. I was mostly experimenting. But yeah, I don't know. I posted a picture of it and some of you liked it. So I may make a pattern out of it. Maybe I would make it slightly shorter, like, or less tall. But yeah, it's a fun two-colored project, and a cowl is always like an easy nice project to have for scrap yarns, and you know, it's very fast, there's no shaping, so it's a really good, I find it like a really good surface to practice new techniques on. So the rest of the family called, but now I'm back. Yeah, let me know what you think. Pattern or no pattern, I'm not sure, but you know, it was an experiment, like a nice experiment how to how this pattern works in two colors. And this is a pattern I've used for many designs, including this one, the Cosmology tee. I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. The Cosmology tee, which is my newest released pattern. Yeah, I'm happy, really happy with this pattern, and I'm wearing these tease a lot. This is a fingering weight. It's also available as a DK weight pattern. And this is the same stitch pattern here and here. So that's a bit cool. Just made in 2 colors and obviously like flipped. This part flipped. Yeah, anyway, enough about that. I also finished a blanket in another pattern that I've developed. So this is going to be like a baby blanket for the youngest son. You see there's this kind of V stitch shape. And there is a similarity between this pattern and this one. I don't have to tell you exactly what I did, but it will be a bit long and hard to understand. But there is a similarity. Just made over 2 rounds instead of 2 rows instead of 1. And yeah, it's made in Rauma Fivel. Really nice yarn, a little bit rustic, but still like, yeah, very nice to work with. When I started working with it, I was like, okay, this is my new favorite yarn. And yeah, I would definitely like to work with it again. There are just so many yarns to choose from. But yeah, this is also something like, would you like a simple pattern for this? I mean, it's not really, it's just a rectangle. So it's not the... I do have actually a pattern for, that's basically this, but on a smaller scale. And it's like a coaster pattern, which didn't get that many views. So I don't know. But you can basically just enlarge that on a, huge scale. So there is sort of a pattern already. But you can also tell me if you want like more detailed instructions for the blanket. I made also the edge is slightly different than on the coaster. Here I just made single crochet in the edge, and in the tutorial it's like a waistcoat on the edges, and this is a little bit easier than working waistcoat stitches. But yeah, you can just ask me if you're wondering anything. I think this is gonna be really nice and keep him warm during the winter. He's turning 10 months in a few days. Yeah, that's that. And by the way, this, I forgot to say, this is made in DK or light worsted wool yarn, 2 different yarns. One is another yarn that I really like. It's called Navia Trio, I think. The pink one is a bit more like a light worsted almost. It's like 190 meters per 50 gram, I think, or 90 to 100. And then it's just the white is just a DK wool yarn, a very old one that I don't really know what it is. Okay, let's move on, I guess. Maybe speak about this shortly. It's another design in the same stitch, also with a, is it called a funnel neck, or how is it called? I've lost the word. Not a polo neck, it's like the, I mean, I know this, I just cannot think. No, I cannot think of it. And yeah, I made it last year, but I decided I'm gonna make, this is gonna be my second test for this year probably. Now it's a little bit bulky maybe with this cosmology with a cosmology tee under. I mean, you can double crochet as I call it, but it can be a little bit bulky sometimes. I will just show you shortly. I'm going to work up a second one and see how it becomes and make the pattern. It's like a contiguous construction, I think you call it. Going down, so it's top down, and here goes out the sleeves, so there's no seaming at all. And yeah, I made this in drops Paris because I had some drops Paris at home. I was planning to make a carpet for the bathroom, and I just got stuck on one of the drops patterns, crochet carpet. The stitch counts didn't add up or something, so now I made this instead, and it is a little bit heavy. I mean, it's like a drops Paris is an iron weight cotton yarn, but it's not too heavy, which almost surprised me. I don't remember how many grams I used. Maybe like, I don't know, 700, but it's also like oversized and pretty long, so it didn't feel that extreme. I mean, an iron weight cotton sweater will always be heavy, but yeah, this is probably going to be the second test of the fall. So let's go to the first test, the one that I've just sent out messages to the testers about, the Athena top DK weight. I've already published the Athena top fingering weight, and right now it's actually a free pattern, because it was one of the early patterns I wrote, and after a while I started feeling that, okay, this is not as detailed as I want my patterns to be, and yeah, it was just, I just felt that I will make it a free pattern for now, but probably once I add the improvements and the video and the DK weight, it's gonna be a paid pattern again. But yeah, it is available in fingering weight if you want to give it a go for even now. This is a bit wrinkled. I had washed and blocked it, but then I found it today that it had slided down under, like over the edge of the couch, and was lying like next to the window on the floor, so it became again like, maybe I'll switch. I hope I remember to cut away the the middle part where I wasn't wearing anything. Otherwise, just tell me immediately and I will, you know, put down the video and edit it. Yeah, happy with this. It works really well in DK weight. I've made some adjustments, but the neckline is gonna be deeper in the DK weight. I actually like that, you know, it's a little bit deeper neck. And it's made in the Suzette stitch, which is a really nice, pretty stitch. Just pretty simple construction, worked bottom up. Most of my other designs are worked top down, but for this design I tried making bottom up, and I think it's pretty entertaining to make. The fingering weight version was a little bit slow to make, and I think that's one reason why I haven't seen so many people finish it, because it's just a lot of, it's not, I mean, the gauge is like 18 stitches, so it's not that bad, but it's just a little bit slow to work both the whole body. But the DK version I found pretty quick to make, so it was quite fun, I would say. And these turns are a little bit, like, once you get into them, they're quite fun. You see how it's like decreasing, make decreases here, and then here you finish each side separately. And I wanted it to be pretty bra friendly, and I really think it is. You know, there's always some adjustment you have to make when you're wearing something. You know, a bra strap might slide out and so on, but I think it's really about as bra friendly as bra, difficult word, bra friendly as a garment can be, which I know that many people want, and you know, me too. Definitely don't really like wearing those strapless bras. They just never seem to fit without like suffocating or squeezing you completely. I did invest in a strapless bra a couple of years ago, but I recently just gave it away because yeah, it's just so uncomfortable. I really don't know how people do it. But on the other hand, I was never one of those who was like prepared to go through too much pain or suffering to look pretty. I was just way too down to earth when I was young. And yeah, still am, I guess. I mean, now I'm a mom, so now it's that, which gives me little time to try to be pretty. Yeah, so I do understand that, and I made this bra friendly. Yeah, it's just going into testing. I am missing a few testers from size 6 and up, and I'm really sad that it is difficult. I know there are maybe not so many of you, as many of you, who are crochet testers in those size ranges. But yeah, it would be really nice if I could get more testers for the plus sizes. And yeah, I'm happy to give extensions and like at least 8 weeks of testing time for the bigger sizes. So if you see this and you would be interested in testing like from 115 centimeters and up, I think that's like 115 centimeters. What is it, like above 45 inches? Or yeah, I'm not an expert in inches, but I'm getting like a hunch about it, at least by now. Okay, and let's talk a little bit about future plans. I mentioned, maybe in the wrong order then, this Elsie pullover. That's gonna be probably my next test. So that's next on the list of, I'm gonna try to work up another one, and I have started writing the pattern. I'm just, you know, considering some details, like should this section be slightly shorter? Should I try to experiment with making a different neckline? But I'm not sure what kind of neckline would work. Like maybe like a boat neckline, but like an Aran weight with a boat. Is it called a boat neckline? Sometimes I just get so unsure about words while I'm speaking on camera, so you know. The only thing you can do is edit afterward, obviously, but I have no time to edit, so I hope it's called the boat neckline. And sometimes those decisions just make me like pause, and you know, you freeze, and you don't know how to progress. So that there's a bit of that going on, but hopefully I will get out of decision, not decision fatigue, but like decision inertia. Can you say that? Decision. Yeah, tell me if there's a good expression for what I mean. And after that, it's probably gonna be this top. I think I showed it last time, the dendrology top, like a tank top. This I'm also really excited about, and I showed it in the last podcast, so yeah, I'm not gonna bore you too much, but I guess that's gonna be like a spring release. My plan is that this will be released in November, and this may be released in January. So let's hope for that. This is a bit more unsure because yeah, I haven't finished the pattern yet. I'm hoping for January. I think that was about everything when it comes to crochet. What I crocheted. I could show you this one. It's like another thing that I want to finish. It's not for me if it looks small, but I made like a structural crochet experiment and I was really happy with this. I did make it like last season, and ideally I would wish to also make this into a design for this season. I just don't know if I will have the time, but there are different like sections trying out different stitches, so I think it could be quite fun. And this is really nice. I do like this yarn by Drops Tweed, I think it's called. So this is for my 4 soon 5-year-old, and I should probably finish this because he will have grown out of it soon. But yeah, it would be really nice if I just had a bit more time and I could just write this pattern. I don't know if it's going to be for kids or adults, like the first iteration. I feel like I'm using many fancy words today, which might be completely misplaced. For the first release is probably a better word. First release of this series. Yeah, we'll see. Let me know what you think. And do you want a kids pattern or an adult pattern first? Obviously the kids pattern might be a little bit faster for me to work up and more likely to succeed in releasing, so maybe a kids version first. We'll see. Anyway, would be great to have this finished. If someone can send me more crochet time, please do so. I wish that I had discovered crochet design when I was a student, you know, because if you're a student and you're now offended, that's not what, you know, I know it can be very, very tough to be a student. I've made 2 bachelor degrees and let's see, 2 and 1 master program and half a master program. So yeah, but I would have had more time back then to design stuff than I do with 2 small kids. That's just how it is. So last section, I'm just gonna say a little bit about what acquisitions. This is probably not everything that I bought, you know, during the whole like summer and period up until now. I tend to buy yarn now and then. I do try to not to buy too much yarn because I have so much, and that's partly because I get yarn sometimes from my mom who knits. I have yarn since I have been knitting since I was a kid, and I haven't thrown much. Lately I started throwing something or giving away some things that I know that I'm not going to use because I have so much yarn that I cannot even see what I have available, and that just doesn't make sense. But I did get some money for my birthday and what am I going to spend it on? One thing was anti-wrinkle cream because I just turned 35 and, you know, it's nice to have a good face cream. We'll see if it helps, but also obviously mostly yarn I want to spend that money on. So I did pass by a bookshop here in Uppsala, Sweden, where I live. They recently opened like an Ad Libris physical store. It's like an online bookstore otherwise, which also started selling yarn a couple of years ago. And normally I don't maybe buy their own yarns, but I was a bit curious to try this one, and it's called Socki, which means like it's made for socks, I guess. Socki Linum. So it's like a wool linen blend, and I have tried a wool linen blend before, Maybe I'll go to get it. Yeah, I bought in Finland, in Turku or Åbo. I bought this. This is, I think, a hand. How is it called? Not hand painted, hand dyed. Tired brain. Hand dyed wool linen mix, and it's just so beautiful. So beautiful. So I made a Pompey top, also one of my patterns, in this yarn. So I was curious to try this, even though it's like, I'm a little bit suspicious of, you know, a bookstore creating a yarn line, sort of. Would it be like more something mass produced? And yeah, I do like rustic yarns in general. But anyway, it does seem nice. I bought like this green color and a beige, and I might combine them in something. We'll see. If I make another podcast, maybe you'll see what it becomes. And I also like that it's 100 grams. I don't like to have many ends to weave in. So I would like if there were more 100 gram skeins. I don't know why they make them 50. I mean, I guess I know, like, sometimes you need only 50, and also like if you need 250 grams, it's good not to have to buy 300. But anyway, I tend to, when I see 100 grams, it's like a bonus for me. I mean, it's not gonna be the one reason why I buy a yarn, but it's a bonus. Like the yarn gets plus points for that. Unless it's like acrylic, or then it's just gonna be no. I mean, not that I hate acrylic, but it's just, you know, I don't like it. Yeah. If I can avoid it, I don't use acrylic. So yeah, interesting. And also I would like, I mean, I was tempted to also buy, this isn't intended for a sweater, but it would have been nice to also buy, I would really like to try it for socks. Because someone mentioned, I was wondering why I don't really enjoy wearing knitted socks. I mean, I have knitted quite a few socks, but I always, and I realized someone said like, oh, you know, they tend to get this moisture or like sweaty, or, and then I was like, yeah, I mean, that's it. They become sweaty, and I really hate that feeling, like cold and sweaty at the same time. It's just, oof. And yeah, since then I haven't been even trying to really wear knitted socks, because I just hate that feeling. And I think, I don't know if it was maybe Inga from Knitting Traditions, could be. I hope I'm not wrong, but anyway, I'm curious to try this for socks, because it's a natural material, obviously. And I guess the linen makes the yarn stronger. So if I have leftovers, I want to try to make some socks in this too. So stay tuned to see how it goes. The result might be in 2 to 5 years. No, I'm kidding, but, or not kidding. We'll see. And then I also indulged in this. I just couldn't resist the color. I don't know if it's like Christmas coming up in, what, 3 months or something, but yeah, this color was just too much to resist. Again, I try not to buy too much drops yarn, because they do have a tendency to like copy designs that real designers made, and you know, I'm not like fanatic about it. I'm maybe I should be, I don't know, because I don't fully know so many details, but I also know that yarn can be expensive, and there is a value in providing like good yarn, not too expensively. So I'm not like fanatic about it. I can buy drops yarn. Yeah, this is the brushed alpaca silk. I have used it before, but for knitting I think I haven't crocheted anything, not something that I'm wearing anyway. And the color is 7. For the other things, I'm sorry, I haven't told you the colors. But if there's something you're wondering about, you can always comment or write to me, and I'm gonna look up the color if I can, if it's not like the super old yarn that I have no idea about. But otherwise, just, you know, ask me and I will try to reply as soon as I can. I'm also bad at replying to messages, but I do make an effort, and if you ask me about color, I'm gonna try to reply. Yeah, so we'll see. I haven't decided what this is going to become. I'm thinking like hat or cowl, or we will see. Softness. Mohair is, I find, a little bit itchy, so, you know, brushed alpaca is a really nice feeling. So I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this time with me. I enjoyed it with you. If you did watch until the end, I'm honored that you wanted to spend your time watching me. And yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts about those projects, and if you want to see how it's going with the design, the test, the Athena top, DK, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm Crochet, and I recently changed my name, so if you're confused, yeah, that's okay to be confused. I just decided it was a little bit difficult to have a Swedish word in the name, and people thought that I was called Coral. I'm Camilla, not Coral. And even though, you know, I had an idea with the Coral Crochet name, I found my new name to be more sustainable. It's like Coif, or you could say Coif, but I would say Coif, and it's the initials of everyone in my family. I'm Camilla. My sons are Oliver and Philip, and my husband is Yosif, which starts with an I, at least if you change it from Greek letters to the Latin alphabet. So that's that, and it also has a sort of historic meaning. It's a kind of like a head garment that you tie under your neck. So it would be fun, I thought, to make something like that, and I think they're a bit in fashion as well, like bonnets. But I don't know if the coif is exactly like a bonnet. I would need a fashion, or how do you say, textile historian too. And maybe one of you is textile historian, then, you know, let me know if you have any details about the coif. I'm just gonna say again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you over on Instagram or here again. And yeah, have a nice time until I see you again. Bye bye!